And we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Card Show. A bit of a different one. Different from what I was planning because I should be at the Scotland Card Show. But someone here is a bit of a fool. Had a accident, an electric scooter, and yes, was spent the night essentially. A lot of hours. It took me into the hours in the morning in hospital. So yeah, I ended up not going on the Thursday, so sort of ruined the family holiday as well on the trip. Yeah, fun and games. So yeah, a bit of a zombie Friday. So I didn't venture up, and then Saturday I felt a bit more human. I was tempted to go on the Saturday evening, but I decided to rest, just get myself fully better, and then Sunday morning I had to. Well, I could have gone up for half a day or so. I decided against it. I ended up having to do the on the lookout video and obviously record this pod. So I did that in the morning, got that out for 6 p.m. and then time for recording this is 20 to 10 on Sunday evening. So yeah, I had a bit of a nap during the day, feeling much more like myself again, which is good. What can I say? Concentrate on the roads. Yeah, let's just go as fun and games. Yeah, fun. I hope it sort of explains a little Instagram post that I've put out. Half man, half machine sort of look. Yeah, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't my finest moment. Let's just put it that way. But we're back onto it. So yeah, I missed the Scotland Card Show, which is very gutting. Not only on a personal level, but also as I was going to be the first little tour away. So yeah, kind of annoying. The date is already set for next year, June 13th and 14th, I believe. So I have actually already booked my hotel for next year. So yeah, I cannot be. Obviously, I would have lost out on this one, which is annoying because it's the day of. To be fair, obviously it's my fault, so it happens. But yeah, I was gonna say to be fair, I did get one of the one of them back, but I didn't get them back. I didn't get the Edinburgh money back or the Glasgow money back, which is annoying. But hey, it's a lesson learned. Don't go joyriding an e-scooter a few hours before you're about to set off on a trip. Here's that one. But no, from all purpose intent. Either way, but what I can't. This will be a jumbled pod because my head's still a bit frazzled. That's my excuse. But no, from what I saw, it looks really, really good. I mean, it never disappoints. Scotland is one of them shows that the local community, the sort of outer community of Glasgow and Scotland in general turn up for it. It's a massive thing. I think that's like on plus is like that Scotland turns up for it. Obviously, it's always great that people travel to it, but I think when the local community turns up and shows out like it does, I think the evolutions are like I remember the first one when we talked about it on the pod with Jordan. 15 vendors, quite evenly split of like 5 sports, 5 Pokemon TCG. Then you had like your grading companies, your sort of supply companies. It was the dart sort of stuff. So it was interesting to see what the market was going to be like, and it was a bit more of a TCG sort of vibe there because obviously for their local clubs there isn't much card product out there. I think SPL Chrome had just come out or was just coming out. They didn't really have much in way of cards. They had stickers, but not much of cards. So TCGs were obviously more of a thing. But I think ever since the second one, Edinburgh, Topps also did the Showtime exclusives, and Topps have obviously pushed it quite a bit. Obviously, Jordan's facilitated a great sort of location for it. And Edinburgh was a quality show. I had a good time up there with Dan as well, sharing a room. Yeah, it's just sort of I don't want to say organically grew, but I don't know, things just seem to fall into place, really well. And the whole sports side of things really kicked off as well. And then looking now at see the size of this one in Glasgow, and it is just think, wow. And to have such a good split from, and he's going on the variety of TCGs, he really does cater to sort of everyone. So yeah, and having a current professional, by the way, signing is crazy. Craig Gordon, shout out there. But no, really, it's like a top show. I do recommend people head down there if they can, and I think it's once a year. It's just why Jordan does it once a year. Tries to make an event. People will say we'll do it and do it for a trip, and yeah, I recommend it. I really do recommend heading down or up, should I say, to the Glasgow show, Scotland Card Show in Glasgow. Let me just get that right. There was, I don't say backlash as well, but there's a few comments regarding the Fanatics Fest scenario, and I get it. I think people are still a bit irked about the sort of the store in London and the fact that it's obviously just influencers and paid content creators, etc. But you need to understand that that's I don't like it. But it's their promotional piece in the day. This is what they're doing. They're trying to grow the hobby and how they're doing it. And it's similar with Fanatics Fest. I didn't really touch on it too much on the last podcast. But it's a big show, right? It's all it is, a big show. They're trying to get people who are fans of the sports or sports entertainment, if you want to include wrestling, into the cards. So it's why they have like a fan zone, then a collector zone. I was hearing a few things of sort of sellers at the shows were sort of told to to put prices a little bit higher than comps, as people would not really just know what comps are. People would see a price and be like, oh, okay, is there room for this sort of thing? And try to negotiate that way because it was people coming to the hobby that weren't that new. So it's kind of a bit of exploitation, I suppose, which makes me feel a little bit uneasy. If the leads are true, I mean, obviously it's just the reports because of prices and how people were dealing with people in there. But I know this person as well, one of the people said that when they said, oh, what the comps on this, the guy sort of knew behind the desk, oh, this guy knows, and sort of, he's like, oh, he's not a new guy that can sort of take advantage of. And to be fair to me, like, he apparently he did it, a few $100 under comps as well, because he sort of knew the game. Whereas, these other people that are new to it, he sort of exploited a little bit. He sort of said that's the price, did a little bit of wiggle room, but he, apparently these cards were way over. Let's say way over, over what it should have been, and clearly the guy knows comps, so sort of one of them, he took a bit of advantage. And it does seem that Mass Effect 2 has been a massive success compared to number 1. I don't know if that will translate into like a Fantastic Fest 2.5 or a 3. I know they talked about Florida and Pittsburgh sort of thing. I know they said it would be different, but whether they'll sort of pivot off that now and try and do the next one the same as the sort of this winning form that they seem to have at the moment elsewhere, if that will go to Orlando eventually, will it go to the West Coast, will it hit Europe? But this one seemed to have been like a success. Like this is the method for it now. And I think what's really smart is also you get Ruben up on the stage with the owner of the Washington Commanders and the star quarterback, and we want to find the best Jaden Daniels in the card room, Jaden Daniels card in the room right now, who has it, and it just so happens to be rough cards. Is it black 101 finite prism? It's interesting. Also, he said he thinks it's worth $2 million. He talked about the Skeens going for 1.2, and Ruben's like, "Oh well, that's a debut patch." And don't forget, like, we can't get rookie patch autos licensed of Jaden Daniels because of a certain company. I don't think it's a fair valuation. I understand where Raphael's coming from, but don't forget he end up. I think the straight Ruben's like 500,000, take it or leave it sort of thing. So a quarter of what he said. But it is what it is. I think 2 mil is. If that had gone on golden and they got 2 mil, I would have been a little bit surprised. Or been like, God, people are just crazy over hype. We see it all the time and on the lookout. The cards are very liquid. It's consistently the card that sells the most for. It's a card that's always up there in the charts. It's very liquid, whether it's his Optic when that came out, not the Prism. So I'm not surprised that people have sort of gambled a large amount in him, especially on like a one-on-one. I said you're not going to get a flawless rookie patch auto. You're not going to get the National Treasures rookie patch autos. You're not going to get the high-end cards in that sort of way. So maybe the black one-on-one finite is probably one of his best card. Obviously, the argument is then you're going to get autos and licensing tops. But yeah, I do think the Prism is probably going to be the one. But 2 mil is crazy. Again, he took 500,000. I think it's probably 500,000 in a signed jersey. I know he put his video straight away, and also it's great content, which then means it's more eyes on him. I think it's first, and people think, oh my god, what's going to happen? I think the smart play with Fnatic, I've talked about this throughout the national, right? The national, it just doesn't make financial sense if you're from UK, Europe, because of flights, accommodation, tickets, you could be already in for the $2+ grand with just your flights and accommodation, right? It doesn't include like a VIP ticket. So similar with Fanatics Fest, right? If you're only going to Fanatics Fest, you could get from Manchester to where I'm from, obviously UK or in general, to New York. You can get decentish flights sometimes, anywhere from 350 sort of area. So let's just say there's no NFL, not much sport-wise going on. It's not like you call it all the sports going on. So let's just say you get lucky, MLS, and the flights are, let's say, 500. Accommodation. It is. You might want to just go for the show only. You might want to stay the day before, sort of acclimatise, and stay a day later. So let's say you're there for 7 days, 6 days. Easily another 100. Let's say 150 a night. That's £900. So all of a sudden you're 1,400 in. And then tickets, VIP, if you get them early, around about, I think it's $400. So, let's say £300 so to make it a bit more easy to follow. So all of a sudden you could be in for like 1.718 area. And that's just getting you there, accommodation and your ticket. That doesn't include any travel from the airports, etc. Because I know people can do very cheap or very. I think is there a free service? I can't remember if there's a free service. It's definitely a cheap service there to get central New York if you're staying there. And again, there's cheaper accommodation outside of areas. I'm just thinking about where I stayed in New York, which is right near the Javits Center at Hudson Yard. I was around about 600 for the week I was there, just under a week I was there last. So, yeah. The good thing is there's a lot of value in the perks from the VIP stuff. I don't know if you saw the Travis Scott exclusive Chrome. People, I think, literally, Dave Adams was set up opposite the queue for us for that. I don't know if that's by chance or what, but yeah, and they were paying just over 2x. So you're buying them for $550, they were buying them for like $1,100-$1,200. So again, kind of a perk, right? Yes, you're in for number 5, but if you can then get an extra, let's just say you get an extra $600 back, so yourself $1,150, split in the middle. That $600 take off the 1,718 to spend, puts you around about like 1.4. Well, yeah, 1.4ish. There was other things. I think it was like a t-shirt, hoodies, caps, bags. So I think it was other cards you got for like I can't remember what it was. I think it was baseball. But it's other things you can like sell. People love like merch, memorabilia, and there's other opportunities as well to get certain stuff, being in VIP queues, etc. So that's always an option to get them stuff, selling for sort of double. But yeah, I think that's one of the pluses to Fanatics Fest over international. I think national don't, because they can't control products, they can't produce a national exclusive product like that. They could, it would be unlicensed sort of thing. You used to get the national VIP cards, and they don't really do well. Basically, it's never a collab. It's just the national sort of, and it'll be the year when it'll be national every year, and da. Whereas this, having a musician create a set, it just has this massive hype around it. It's just a massive win for Fanatics, let's be honest. But again, it's a way to sort of make Fanatics Fest more viable as well, because like I said, you can get there and for similar price, possibly less than going to Chicago if you're from UK, Europe. If you can get there for less and you have chances to make money like that when you're there, just that easy in one queue, get the product, literally turn left, to spend 10 to 15 seconds, and that's it, cash out for double your money. Who's going to turn down extra $600? Yeah, I said you've gone from spending 1718 on flights, accommodation, and tickets to the show to all of a sudden only being sort of like what 1,300, and you think, okay, where's the extra plays I can make? And that's just from the sort of the perks, right? The freebies and the perks. So that's let alone what you can do there and stuff like that. So it definitely has a massive plus. It'd be interesting if that did come to Europe. If it was the same, sort of created set, all that sort of stuff. Because then obviously if you're in Europe, it makes it a lot more viable, right? And it's a lot more sense to go. And again, this is the thing with the national. I've said before, should we have an international or a European? I don't know if we're ready for the sort of the days they do. I know it's interesting seeing, obviously, London doing 3 days. I think London's probably going to be the closest we're going to get to that sort of stuff, especially when it moves to the XL. I know it's not full time, it's just one time next year. Which obviously rained on my parade when I said I was good at this card show still. Should definitely move into Sandown after London moves to XL. Although I know it's just moving that one show. I think one show next year is second show next year. You just like Sandown, XL, Sandown. I'm hoping to get to next London. I hope to get more shows. So shout out to some shows I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to watching my local shows. I have the Northwest card show coming up. It's a smaller one this time around, but obviously it's in Warrington, so not too far from me. Then the bigger one in September, which I'm looking forward to getting down to that one. And then we have Manchester CardCon, the one on my doorstep. Manchester CardCon's always a good vibe. I'll do London. We're looking forward to get back into swinger shows again, just more on the social aspect and sort of seeing sort of how the scene is currently. I think it's always good to sort of get the vibe of how things are going, like on the ground. I think online it's very different. Not very different, but can be different. Especially when someone like myself who deals more in American sports. That's why I usually buy and sell and usually sort of stays in America if I can. Apart from my PC cards. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to get some shows again. I should. The funny thing is, I say I come off my it was a weird night, but anyway, I'm gonna say I come off. I'm gonna take responsibility as a grown man. Come off my electric scooter, running around like a fool. And I was texting Ben. I think late on Friday. I don't know. It was all a blur. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to come. I have to do it be the next day. See how I feel. And the worst thing is, literally just gone on and applied for my professional license. Not sort of just a month ago or so. So I went through the license and I'm going to start driving lessons. It's like I can't be trusted. I have a need for speed. There's not many e-scooters, bikes, motorbikes that have not crashed. I've always got to go faster. I've always got to push them limits. I need to mature a little bit. And so I'm just eager beaver to do that sort of stuff. But hey, you live and learn, right? You live and learn. Just cost me a lot of money in hotels and a very unhappy partner during holiday. So I'm going to make up for it with a little breakaway next week. So I'm giving myself a few days to recover. And then go just on Cornwall, just hit the beach, relax. I'm down there. I sort of drive. I'm going to stop off beforehand as well. I've got a little spa booked on the way back. I'll say it's for her. I'll say, I've got this book for you as a bit of holiday, but it's going to be for me, a bit of hour and a half. I need it. Injured man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's needed. It's needed. But yeah, I think Scotland is a show that people should go to. I think Fanatic Fest is becoming more and more viable, more and more like a show you sort of can't miss. I said for me, it's like the new Mecca. I think I said a couple of years ago. I knew they wouldn't sort of miss when they said they were taking shots like this. I knew they wanted to come over and take over. That's what they want to do in everything they're doing. So I knew that National didn't stand a much of a chance. I just like the fact that National's fighting back, because National could have laid down, right, and just took it, carried on with the old guards and not changed much, but they didn't introduce new stuff, got any sort of committee board going with people that are relevant, like card collectors and stuff like that. So yeah, we shall see what happens in the future. What else do we want to talk about today? Do something else about what? Oh yeah, I want to talk about Antelli wiping out Max Verstappen. I thought that was hilarious. And not because I don't like Max or this or the, just the fact that there's a lot of hype, a lot of talk about Antelli. I don't think it was like a horrendous mistake and a bad driver, but the fact that he's the one we're talking potentially, I don't know if he'll challenge Max for the throw, because I don't know where Max will be in. I think Antonelli's gonna need a couple of years. But let's face it, look at sort of Piastri and Norris. Norris took a few years. Piastri sort of coming from day one and sort of showing he's a driver. Obviously had a very good car to do that with, and Mercedes aren't quite there yet, but they're very close. But yeah, I think for someone who's potentially one of the future stars of the sport to take out on the first corner as well? I think it was the first corner or second corner, take out one of the current stars and current legends of the game. It was quite funny. Good to see Lewis up there again. Was it McLaren 1-2, Ferrari 3-4? Still can't seem just right just yet. But yeah, that is what that is. Cool World Cup's going on. I think obviously my team, City, looking strong. It's going to be interesting to see what this translates to in Premier League, because obviously now you got to get through this. Yes, I understand it's all about money, but do I get through this unscathed? Hopefully, go into the season, and it's all about injuries, right? If you can, whatever team can avoid the most injuries is going to probably win. Obviously, Liverpool are chilling out. They don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. They're resting well. It's going to be Arsenal doing something. They're again not involved, investing well. It's going to be interesting, but it's good to see sort of the way they play against Juventus. It looks like a good mix now of that. It's like, what was it, like classical and Klopp was the metal, having Pep's little right hand man, Jurgen Klopp's sort of full right hand man. It seems to get a good balance of that classical and rock, the but beautiful football at the same time. So hopefully we can have a good season. I'd love another little treble to send everyone off, because I think it's going to be a lost season for a lot of players, if not already. I think You know, I think I from Grealish, Stones, Bernardo Silva, Edison, yeah, Ortega. But yeah, it's another one. Also, as a recording this, I didn't watch it because I think I was in and out, drifting in and out of consciousness. But PSG smashed Inter Miami 4-0. You know, so it's going to be interesting. I think obviously PSG are going to be a team all down here, just a well-oiled machine. Yeah, they don't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're favourites for Champions League again. Yeah, it's a very, very good side. John Neves. Just like John Neves and Vitinha in midfield with, is it Ruiz? Yeah, just, it's like a very technical, quality, good midfield. Gets me quite jealous sometimes when I think Vitinha was just at Wolves and you didn't think game. John Neves always like, I don't think I've ever seen him by game. Always watching him quality player. But that's what it is. It is what it is. Also, shout out to Tosin as well. Fanatic Fest, followed by goal and man of the match. Unbelievable scenes, Jeff. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable. I believe he is hunting down a 1 of 1 of his cards, so check his post for that. Or his story. I can't remember. So yeah, who don't know who that 1 of 1 is? Holler at him for sure. Might give you some Chelsea tickets, I don't know. Signed Chelsea shirt. I don't know if he's going to buy it for 500,000. Or get the owner, get $10 to buy it for 500,000. But yeah, definitely shout him. But yes, I'm gonna love you and leave you, so I can get some more R&R, which is needed. But however, as well, I will see you guys on lookout. I will do an on lookout, I think, this week before I go away. Will I? Won't I? I can't remember. So make sure you're subscribed. If you're subscribed, you'll get notifications. But as always, your support and love is appreciated more than you know. I can't thank you guys enough. And yeah, hopefully I will see you guys at the show soon, and we can hook up, do some things, whether it's little challenges, and stuff like that. I do have a big announcement coming soon. A big announcement going to shake up the card industry for good. For God, he tells you, I will do a little bit on that soon, and yeah, I'll see you then. Peace and take care.